So I'm letting people join the live. We're having our Sunday live. The main topic today is going to be February 22nd, which is coming up very soon. So you're asking how much a reading is. If you'd like to tip me, you're welcome to at Spiritual Squirrel on Venmo or Cash App. Because it's coming up, February 22nd is coming, I just want to do a collective reading and then individual reads as it comes up. You think these number dates mean anything? Not projecting. You'll know if it means anything for you. Like, I'm trying to bring the energy down right now so we can center in here and feel that. I don't think a date or time ever means anything, especially here on Earth, right? What's above and here, they're on a different timeline. A planet is returning on that date, which is really interesting that it is that repetitive number and the return of that planet. Last time it was around was the time of the American Revolution, the 4th of July, right? I keep channeling the song by Sufjan, I hope I say his name right, Sufjan Stevens, which is the 4th of July. And I also keep hearing the song Tongue Tied July over and over again. So there's some, I'm getting a lot of chills, there's some correlation there. So is it tied to the number of date? Not specifically. I think it's more about alignment and the energy shift in that alignment. Hey, Authentic Mystic, do you want to, I don't know how late it is or early it is. If you want to jump on, let me know and I can invite you. Oh, you're having a past life reading on February 20th. That should be very interesting, especially with the Pluto element in that. So who wants to look at the collective energy and see what messages come up for that? Oh, wow, you guys are sending so many gifts. Thank you. I do keep saying 222 a lot. I'm gonna split the Magician upright, which is good. All right, so if you guys want to know, I don't usually verbalize it because I'm not about the dogma, but I call in archangels, usually Michael, Raphael, Uriel, sometimes Azrael. But I imagine like a funnel of white light coming down, essentially. So like a channeled tunnel to the divine without any interference. So blocking out whatever static noise might come through. That's how my practice is. I don't need smoke or rocks. It's like the white light from the divine is all it takes. So it's very clean. Yeah. We can do another time. I doesn't have that today. I'm at the table, and if you want to pull up a chair, you can. If not, catch you on the next ride. I don't know how everybody else is doing, but I've been really tired, processing a lot of things. I had the Leo full moon kicked my butt. I don't know if it was necessarily the full moon. It was rough. What will your love life look like? So what do you want your love life to look like? That's the question. Are you powerless or do you have power? Because when we surrender to like outside circumstances dictating our love life, guess what that means? We have no say in it, and that's like a setup for victim mentality. Oh, you just got new thyroid meds? Interesting you mentioned thyroid. All right, so for the collective energy, this is interesting. Ace of Wands reversed, which if you guys remember last week's reading, Ace of Wands was reversed there. Page of Cups reversed. 5 of Swords upright and Queen of Swords. Anything else? Any other cards for the spread from this deck? Oh, okay. So this is Four of Pentacles upright, Knight of Cups upright. Stagnation. Oh, big chills. Big chills. Oh, okay. So the Four of Pentacles, what's really interesting is I don't usually notice this, but you see all the architecture and houses in the back? It's about property hoarding and real estate battles coming up. And I'm a pawn in that game myself because of my property situation. There's a transition. But right now it's being held. And there's a messenger coming in about land, nature, preservation. Interesting. That, oh, big chills, big chills. Sorry, that's a lot. Fish and water quality. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is kind of unusual, so bear with me. Because with the Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups together here, there's going to be an environmental, well, this goes without saying, but specifically to water quality and fish, there's going to be additional tension around land value, and people are going to get more miserly and more hoarding with property because of those issues with the fish and the environment, which that already exists, but it's just really weird because I never noticed the fish that are on this guy's coat. Clarifier on the Queen of Swords upright. I keep getting new ruler, new ruler, new ruler. The clarifier for the Queen of Swords is the King of Wands, and they're facing each other. A new ruler. This is resonating. Holy okay. Architecture, that's interesting you say that. When I leave my husband, I will lose my house. Yeah. Yeah, some of you guys know I got a divorce, and it's been hell. Like, everything built on that foundation is pretty much collapsed. I don't know anything but my heart, so I don't care about land. Yeah. But so what's really interesting is the juxtaposition here. So it's Pentacles and Cups. And have you guys ever heard of that prophecy? And I don't want to appropriate it. I'm just trying to reference it as like a tangent. But the eagle and the condor, masculine and feminine, civilization and nature. But the two of them aren't really talking. But the way these are lined up, it's like the water's bringing it in, and it's like shrinking land. So there's less and less, which is... That's happening. You don't need to be a tarot reader to say that. It's just, there's something that's going to be happening with like apartments and sky rises and a crunch. And there's somebody that's really holding on to their money, and I would guess the 1%, but there's a new ruler in town. The Queen of Swords, and there's the reptile on the King of Wands card. I don't want to be a conspiracy. There it is. So the Queen of Swords is transitioning the power to the King of Wands. Does anybody know the astrological signs of the royal family? By any chance, what the queen is and what her successors would be? New boss in town. There's a new boss in town. There was a battle because the Five of Swords, so that ended. That's interesting. Let me get a clarifier of the Ace of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups reversed. Yosemite? Is there a bunch of water in Yosemite? Like there's got to be a river, right? Sand. Mudslide. Yeah, there's a major landmass. There's going to be an issue there. And I know this sounds obvious, but like it's really weird because I've never looked at the Knight of Cups as like a mercurial messenger, but it's like the land is sending a message and it causes a further pinch. Hi, thank you for being here. They're not paid readings today. This is a collective reading. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the cards that showed up. The Ace of Wands. Oh my God. There's quite a lot to say. There's a lot of pages showing up. Messenger, messenger, messenger. So you got the Page of Cups reversed, Page of Wands reversed, next to the Ace of Wands reversed, but then you have the Page of Pentacles upright, breadcrumbs, the Moon, third party, no wish fulfillment, refusing love. That's really interesting. That's heavy energy. Wow. I don't like, oh, it's grief again. Okay. I got it. Yeah. That's a collective wound we've been healing with grief and so forth. Gosh. All right, I'm going to expand on these two because these other ones, like the new ruler stuff, I already got channelings for that. Like, who cares? Like, sorry, new boss in town. It's above our pay grade anyways, right? Oh, hey, I'm glad you enjoy listening to me. Yeah, you've been drawing the same card. So what was your interpretation on that? Because to me, it's like the residuals of narcissism, extreme self-centered fear, which given the conditions we've been under, would make sense. Okay, so looking at the Four of Pentacles upright and the Knight of Cups, right? The land and the environment, someone being miserly and hoarding, and then a messenger. What's about to go down is a very critical, pay attention to the news because it's going to fly under the radar. It's a scientist, right? There are going to be two dueling opinions. Somebody wants, I'm not going into that. Sorry, I'm going to back out of that. All right, can you expand on the Four of Pentacles? Sorry, guys. There's names, being involved, and I don't want to go there. But let's just say property, land development under the mask of technology is actually meeting a true Knight of Cups. Like there's a false king who's hoarding pentacles and pretends to be, for technological development and advancement, but it's all just for their benefit and they're hoarding. And there's a true passionate knight that speaks on the environment and awareness. And they're going to be the true flag, the true messenger, they're something with a trumpet, like they're the warning. So this person's going to be providing a message. This person's also going to be providing a message. Which one are you going to listen to? For discernment purposes, whatever this is that's happening, ask which is going to be on a longer term foundation. So somebody's going to provide like a quick hit, instant gratification fix, whoever this person is, this false king. This person is going to be more of like fluid long-term suggestions, which is going to be less popular, which is why they look more homely and less regal. But they're the true messenger from God. Literally Mercury. And they're here, that juxtaposition of those two choices is a judgment point, a splitting point for you on your journey. That's pretty intense. Okay. And this is collective, but also individual. Yeah, it's pretty intense. Pay attention to what's going on around you, I guess. Oh, and here's something to remember. So when it comes to instant gratification, that's like the demonic element in the human life, right? A good thing to check yourself is If you were to do whatever it was you're doing repeatedly, this is how you test its foundation. Anything done to fix something short-term, that becomes a long-term problem if you begin to rely on it, like to feel better, to do like that. That's when you know it's not the correct answer long-term. Because sometimes taking the longer road is the stronger foundation. Oh my God, there's so much coming off this card today. So the Four of Pentacles guy, that false king, right? What he does for PR and imagery, right, to make you think it's him, is he does breadcrumbing of environmental things. Like on this card, there's a few trees and hills, like a mound. Indigenous people are involved here. He's going to throw them a breadcrumb, and it's going to buy some of them for him, but not all, because the true people who value land and so forth will have a different opinion, but that's what they do for their PR. Here's a park for you. Here's a tree, just kind of frivolously doing it, and a lot of people get sold on it. Whereas this person, whoever this person is the true king on his way. It's like a Jon Snow kind of character. Whoever this is, it's like a Jon Snow character. Which is really interesting. And he doesn't show up with a bunch of material wealth. And he talks about a lot of water. But he is the messenger from God. Wow. That's a lot to take in. Ooh. Something about mudslides in Yosemite and contaminated water. Like an entire stretch. Are there rivers? I'm going to see a map of rivers in the U.S. Sorry, guys. I got to look this up. Because it's a major river, and it looks like it goes from the mountains to the desert. Map of rivers, U.S. Sorry, if I'm really into this reading. If I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise. Energy vampire source wanting to feed off those sacred lands. Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know. I don't know who it is. I would say no. I would say it's not him. It's been a quiet, ongoing war. Yeah. I'm from Washington State, but stuck in GA. With custody. Oh, I got it. Hello. Somebody called me Penguin. All right, map of U.S. rivers. Let's take a look at this. Yep. Where's Yosemite, guys? Just show me the whole thing, please. I need a big map. I'm an old person. Make it bigger. All right. That's not gonna do it. I thought Yosemite was California. There are no rivers there, so it doesn't make sense. Oh, I may have to dive into this because I need like a topographical map too. There's no rivers. There's Nevada, Las Vegas. There's no rivers by Las Vegas. There's a tiny, is it the Hoover Dam? Lake Mead. I don't know. Going from mountains to desert. A river runs through it. Oh, I just got big chills. Oof. Wherever that is. I don't know where it is. But it's going to throw up a flag for quality of water and land issues. And then this guy throwing his false crown around. Literally, false crown as I look at the deck. Yeah. Yeah. He's going to, for your home and stability, he brings in a tower moment. It's like a bait and switch. It's a bait and switch. Gather up all the resources, make people buy into you, and then sell their souls, essentially. I wonder if that's the mark. Oh, no. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that conversation. Okay. Topanga, California, Topanga Creek. I don't know. It's very clear that there's like a mudslide in the water, and this person's coming in as a messenger of God talking about the water quality in fish. And the water, the river I'm seeing in the card goes from mountains to like an oasis in a desert. That's what's coming through right now. I don't know. But that's a lot of chills. Big channels today, big channels. Oh, there's the Emperor and Empress and the Moon reverse. Sneaking in there. An earthquake could bring an underground river to surface, right? Yeah, it's possible. Or a mudslide could redirect the water too. So you guys have been getting channelings about oh, sorry. I'm thinking near Cali too. They've been shutting down our water springs, locking them up in northern Utah Mountains. Huh. Very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna clear that energy. That was pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. Firing. Let me clear that. And that was for 222. Okay, let's see what else is happening. I told you it was tiring. I think this is why oracles like they end up like just they end up in like tubs of water just floating, relaxing, because all that energy is pretty significant. Wyoming volcano eruption. I'm not seeing a volcano or Old Faithful. I didn't get any channelings for that stuff. I kept hearing Yosemite like as a resonance point. Kind of like in the Bible where they guided that spring to the king's palace. Okay, so this is really interesting because remember that Four of Pentacles guy, right? The false king. He's hoarding resources. He's like playing Monopoly with humans while breadcrumbing them to like him. But he's just conning them into a bigger plan, mastermind system. So, what are we doing here? Hi, we are doing a collective reading for February 22nd. We're looking at some of the energies, and it just turned into some geopolitical stuff. I don't really know. It's never really happened before. All right, anything else we need to know for February 22nd as a collective energy? I feel like sometimes whoever's in the chat, like who also does readings or has like clairvoyance abilities. No. These are confusing cards. Ace of Cups, Six of Cups reversed, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. That's confusing. That's all sorts of bouncy energy there. I got excited when I saw the Ace of Cups of Praying. So it's like, oh, I see the dove. I'm not going to read when I'm reading on this. I think it needs to be quiet. I don't want to say it. And it's nothing against you guys. There's people that watch this that don't need to know this. Does anybody in the room know anything about Knights Templar? The dragon. The mushroom phase is literally a thing of the serpent. It's a door, it's a portal. So it's like, imagine showing up, this is what I'm getting here. Imagine showing up, how many trumpets are there? There are 7 trumpets, right? Imagine incarnating or showing up on Earth, and each of these trumpets were like a cycle, karmic cycle. And they interact with each other and spill over. And you're tasked with solving those. Interesting. No, I've been drawn to connecting to dragons, and I had one show up with my fire. So this isn't any beef against dragons. There's a dragon in the Bible, which is a serpent, which is Satan. It's the karmic cycle, but it's a thing that eats off the fear. Living waters. Bread coming, virtue signaling. That's the word. That's the phrase. Going back to that person, that false king, virtual signaling. He just does PR, and it's definitely a man. He definitely shows up, does PR appearances, and like, you know, I threw money at this, like me. And people do. He does it just well enough and has it well enough time that people do like him. And they buy into his systems and his asset acquisition. So they don't realize that they're becoming an acquisition of him. That's the part. Do you guys remember, and this is a big channeling that's coming through for the 5 of Pentacles, because normally it's a scary card. But what's on the Statue of Liberty? It's like, give me your weak and your poor. It's like coming back for the left behinds, but not forgotten. That's the Ace of Cups. It's just really interesting. I don't know what that means. Unfinished business, dude. I bet you this is that Jon Snow character. All right, can you explain Ace of Cups for me? Well, that was fast. 7 of Wands and 2 of Wands reverse. 9. Two of Swords. This Ace of Cups looks like it's right in front of us, and we're not seeing it. Losing faith and hope that this event is happening, but it is. How's everybody's faith been, like, in terms of getting signs about something about to happen, and then you're like, oh, it's never going to happen. You're like giving up and getting angry. Star reverse, 3 of Wands reverse. That's a lot of wands. Lack of patience, lack of healing, and that's why you can't see. It's right in front of our face. So no matter, oh, big chills on this. So no matter what we see, this, remember I talked about all these different cycles and like trumpets or whatever, like showing up and seeing that. What I'm getting here for February 22nd is no matter... Think about the movie Bird Box, and that's what I'm thinking about with this Two of Wands reversed, the blindfolds on, right? Sometimes not seeing is good. So the key is no matter what appears to be happening, and the fear-based reactions we are getting triggered to go into, stepping back and being like, nope, love is all around. Love is all, it is permanent, it is consistent, it is unmoving. Well, it's always flowing, but it's always there. It's the endless fountain. And the challenge is going to be choosing to see that. And the reason why we can't see it sometimes is out of past wounding. That's a pretty powerful message. And the movie Bird Box, these people were freaking out of like these imaginary things that weren't actually there, right? These boogeymen, and they were just destroying themselves. Some people were killing themselves on the streets. It was horrible. That is what this is pointing to, is like, just because we feel something is happening or we fear it's going to happen, unless it's actually happening in front of us, it is not something to invest in our time or invest with our time. It's going to be really important. And they're going to put on a show. They're going to put on a show is what I keep hearing. Yeah, sometimes with the not feeding the fear source like you're talking about here, we feed it by reacting out of that vibration of fear. So we get used as like manifestors to create that reality, and it perpetuates more fear-based situations. It's very contagious. So the question for you guys, myself included, is what are we going to do to maintain a level of, where I come from, my groups, it's emotional sobriety, but homeostasis, balance, like a strong foundation, so that as things come, we have that ability to pause and be like, no, this is a fear trigger. How am I going to respond differently? What's the key there? What practices work for you? For me, cup of tea, some peaceful music, good headphones, going for a walk. I talk about in some of my videos, movement, meditation, hydration, and sunlight are a good start. The last true king. I don't know. Affirmations are wonderful too, to change those tapes. Sometimes we don't forgive ourselves, and that drives or somebody tells us we're horrible, and we ingest that false perception and our self-worth tanks. Affirmations can help recover that. Because when we don't feel worthy, we're more likely to respond in a fear-based state. I know this because I've been through this several times in my life, so I get it. That's why I harp on affirmations. The sensitivity is skyrocketing. I'm working on presence. I quickly breathe oils, sing affirmations, program my water. Love it. I learned that spiritual hygiene, uplifting spirits. Living waters is fire water. I think it's the Holy Spirit. I think the feminine is the Holy Spirit energy, and then the Christ is the masculine energy. And I think the two of them are a pair. I don't really know, but I'm sure it'll figure itself out. You said Templar, and I got Last True King. Interesting. I'm getting chills on that. I would suspect the Templars have been overly involved in that sense of free will. And so what's a good metaphor? So let's say if a Knights Templar person was watching me right now, what would I always say to them? What's a good metaphor where you sabotage something that's good that's supposed to come? Like you have precognition that something's about to happen, but you get your hands on the pot to help guide it because you become fearful that divine's not going to fulfill it. But you end up delaying it. Oh, I can't think of a good metaphor for that. Usually I come up with them, but... Basically for me, all tasks are like meditation. when filled with intentions to clear dead center. Okay. Reverse manifestation. Yeah, sabotage. Yeah, it's like I made jokes about it, but I don't want to be insensitive, but it's kind of like the Jewish people, like with what happened with Christ. Could you imagine like going through that? And, you know, I guess I don't even recognize him as a Messiah, so I don't care. I don't know. But imagine going through that, and then there's people, like there's temples that are built for the second coming, and like picking somebody that's not it. Like you miss it. It just, there are so many groups highly invested in catching him. And unless he's coming down here on a UFO, he would be incarnated in a sleep and then waking up and having to process that. Could you imagine that with all that interference from all those different groups being watched and monitored? Yeah. It's just not, it's not good. Like, you're more likely to keep that person in hiding than to do what they came here to do. Like, oh, I'm getting huge chills. Oh my God. Hands off. Like, how, like, that's why I think they said, like, Christ would come back into a lot of these groups that were quote unquote Christian or pro-Christ. He'd be like, you're dead to me. Because he wouldn't just, like, see what they've done historically. He would see, like, actively what they had done to his life. Sovereignty is king. See? Tyrants. And, you know, like I said, like, it would be fear-based. They would be afraid they would be missing the mark, so they try to control it. And that's not Christ's message. Christ's message, I believe, is you miss the mark when you think you're missing the mark, because you're human, perfectly divine. It's that perception of self-judgment and low worth that is missing the mark. That drives everything else from that point. See? It's literally like the divine being like, stop being sneaky to those organizations. Oh, God. They would try to convince him he wasn't. Yeah, some of them would. Like, you gotta give the guy a break, because some of them would be trying to get him to do dark, evil, malevolent things. Others would be torturing him mentally. I had that vision of him being crucified. Like, I saw it very clearly. Like, he was up on the cross getting crucified, but then he transformed to the eagle after that crucifixion, all the games. And it's not, see, they're not as archaic as they were 2,000 years ago. They're not going to go and kill him. They're going to try to destroy him mentally, spiritually, whatever, get him to do the dirty work and quit. So they move a little bit different than they did 2,000 years ago, I would guess. Which is interesting, but does anybody think, like, it's not happening? Like, this isn't the second coming? Because I feel like everybody just kind of knows it at this point. I feel like it's just a vibe at this point. Or maybe I'm just in an echo chamber. I keep seeing all the little lizards on the cards, which is really interesting. Oh yes, it's all around for me, not everyone though. I just wonder about the Bible sometimes, and you think about what they wrote about him, and some of the idolatry factors, the misogyny factors, claiming somebody was out sin, and you just jump to when he's X amount old. It removes, like, some of the accessible points of the person. Big chills on that too. Wow. Is the second coming referring to Christ consciousness and not Christ himself? No, I don't. I think Christ, I'm getting so many chills right now. Whew. I think Christ, the person, is the one coming back. I don't know what the rest of it looks like because I've gotten downloads, but like my brain isn't connecting how that's going to happen. And it could just be like life's about to get really weird. Or maybe it's not this lifetime. I don't really know. I kept channeling the song 5 More Hours. And I think I did the conversion math on it because, like, what is an hour? Like a biblical hour or a heavenly hour? And it's like 42 years. Which, if you do 42 times 5, what does it end up becoming? Sorry for this tangent, but I just want to look it up. I think it's 42 hours. It's 210 years. So it might be the second coming. It's just, I personally am struggling in seeing how this is going to play out. And I did get downloads about them having like a fake person and a fake chariot and like this whole thing like queued up, ready to go to like cover it up. And it's kind of going back to the tarot reading we had earlier, which was the two, there's a false king. Oh my God, that was the Antichrist and Christ. There was a false king, and then there was a true mercurial messenger from God with the fish on his coat. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I know. Yeah. I got my guesses. I just don't say it here because I how would I prove it? Anything else we need to know for 222? I can't make this up. Look what she has on her shirt. When is the moon waning? I'm going to see where the moon position on 222. The reason why I'm looking it up is because what's at the bottom of her feet is the moon, but I'm trying to see where the moon's going to be on 222 to see if it aligns with that image. That would be pretty cool. It's almost half full. Almost. Waning gibbous. Lucifer is a new moon the next few days. Yeah, it said it was waning gibbous. Do I believe in a bloodline? Yes and no. Yes and no. I'm more of like a reincarnation person, and the way I understand God, which doesn't have to be your understanding, but he likes surprises and plot twists. Like he plants things where, like, I mean, look at the Bible. He puts stuff in places that people will overlook as a way of like filtering out people. Because I promise you, like, there are so many people with closed, biased, wounded hearts that are looking for Christ in very specific places that he's not going to be. And that whole thing is like a filter thing that God uses. And the lesson there is to open your hearts so you can actually see. I think we're prepared for a very strange future. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of I'm trying not to live in that future. I'm trying to be like fully present here. Illusion, wow, fishing code, symbolic. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure those two, the Four of Pentacles, the False King, oh, big chills. And then the Ace of Cups, the Mercurial messenger with the fish on his coat. That's Christ. And those are your two. And they could be two different. Oh, I'm just getting so many chills right now, but yeah, that's a lot. I just want to understand my dreams. Like 2 years ago, I had it was longer than 2 years ago, but this is like right as this like big awakening started for me. And all these massive life changes kicked off. I dreamt that I went to I was in the Middle East, and I went to like the basement of a room, like a basement door. And then it was blue walls. It was like not a huge room. It was probably like 20 by 20, I guess. And there's a bunch of middle-aged Middle Eastern men with beards and stuff. They were all different. Well, they're mostly elders, but they were all different like colors of skin. And I walked in the room and they all stopped talking and looked at me. Like they'd been waiting for me in anticipation. Like they were really excited. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm somebody else in this dream. And I asked in the dream, I was like, am I still me? And in the dream, they're like, yes. And I'm like, am I a woman? Because I'm like, is it this lifetime? And they're like, yes. And that dream just haunted me. Because like, I look at my reality where I am. I'm fully cognizant of where I am in space and time. This is just a dream I'm referring to. But it was just such a powerful dream. Like that was trying to wake me up. I just don't see how this current reality, like, to your comment about being a strange future, I don't see how the dots connect to anything like that. But I'm sure if it's meant to be or supposed to happen, whoever's in charge is going to figure it out, right? Plot twist. Yeah, I don't know. I had to detach from a lot of things. And in this process, since those dreams started, like I didn't know about the Emerald Tablets. I didn't know about the Anunnaki. I dreamed about those things before I heard anyone else talk about it. Like I got firsthand experience with it. And then they're like, oh, that's what this is. That's my spiritual education, is more of a burning bush. Like, here you go. I don't know. This might have been a source of my woes, but in the dreams, I'm clearly not on the side of the Anunnaki. I am clearly on the opposing side. Like, there's definitely a battle happening, and there's Egypt, and I don't know. Hello, you are so familiar with me, it's boggling my brain. I get that a lot from people. Like, not to diminish your experience, like, just, I have one of those souls. That's on humanity going through an NDA to trigger growth. Or is the NDA referring to COVID? Or something else? Like an astrological planetary event. Are you a fire sign? Some sort of catalyst. I mean, everything's a catalyst, right? I feel like fire signs show up to be catalysts. We're really good at it. Can iron people's skin just enough to cause them to grow once they get past the victim mentality. Yeah, you keep showing up as King of Wands. I don't know who you are, but yeah. Yeah, see? He won't shut up, dude. It's 3 times King of Wands showed up for you. Let's clear that energy. Step into the room, sir. Wow. I see you. I've been waiting for a Leo for over 2 years at this point. I would just like to state that publicly. And it's one of the most frustrating experiences of my life. From New NorCal. I'm a Sag. Huh. Wands is fire. That was King of Wands, right? Yeah, it was. Hello. So I was replaying the reading from the other day that I said I'd write a blog post about the feminine and masculine energies. I didn't end up writing it. It just feels like I missed the boat on doing that. So I'm just going to let that reading be. So I won't send that newsletter out. A Leo for what? Ha 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 ha. Oh God. Speaking of dreams, you want to... Anybody else get rid of... No. Like, yeah. Wait, what did you say right before I pulled him again? Sag from North.